Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the cards in the spotlights, alright, but I'm not going to talk about Cersei. Now let's just get it out of the way. Cersei, I think, is a fun card. I think it has some uses as a decent to a good backup card, for example, as a backup to Annie, alright, in a Sentry package. However, I don't think it's that groundbreaking. I don't think it's a card that you must have in order for you to win. Alright, but if you want some fun, if you want shenanigans, of course it is a card that you have to get. The card that I'm going to talk about is actually Phoenix Force, as you can see on the screen. Right, and Phoenix Force have been a very interesting card, okay, and many people have experimented with how to play it, and I believe the best way to play this card, not necessarily the most fun, alright, but the best way to play this card is actually through a deck that I call Phoenix Tribunal. Okay, I name it as Alexis, alright, but it's more widely known as Phoenix Tribunal. Right, so what does this Phoenix Tribunal deck actually do? Right, so there is two parts to this game plan. Okay, so first, I mean, as what the name suggests, the first part is Phoenix, the second part is Tribunal. Right, so let's take a look at what Phoenix Force does first. Okay, so Phoenix Force revive one of your destroy cards, merge with it, and it can move. Alright, so we are not just blindly destroying things, we have to destroy things that can benefit from Phoenix Force second effect, which is to move it. Right, and of course we are looking at things like Human Torch, alright, whereby each time you move the powers double. So if you can bring back a Human Torch, you add Phoenix Force 5, that is a 7. You move it once, it's a 14. You move it twice, it's a 28. Right, so if you can get Phoenix Force on turn 4, and then you move it once on turn 5, once on turn 6, you easily get a 28. Alright, and that is huge. Your second option is Multiple Man. Alright, because when this move you add a copy, so each time it moves, you are creating an 8 power card on your side of your board. Alright, and well, 8 power is pretty mid if you were to ask me, but imagine doing this for free for 2 turns while you still can do your other plays. Alright, that means you are creating an additional 16 power onto your side of the board, which is huge. Alright, so these are the things that we are looking to destroy for Phoenix Force. Okay, and of course to destroy we have Carnage, we have Venom, alright, and we also bring in Nico Minoru because one of her spell is on review, you destroy your next card. Alright, and then to make it even better, you draw 2 cards. So a very ideal play is you play Nico Minoru on 1, you destroy Human Torch on 2 or Multiple Man on 2, and you draw Phoenix Force along the way. Alright, that's the dream. That's why Nico Minoru is a very, very strong card in this deck. Now, we are running a combo deck, so sometimes we need time. Alright, and along with it, whenever we need time, we go for Magik. Alright, so that is the purpose of Magik in this deck. Very simple, very straightforward. Alright, so the second portion is Tribunal. Now, sometimes when Phoenix Force, when we fail to destroy our things on curve, when we fail to draw our Phoenix Force, we are a little bit lost. That's what can we do? Alright, because we have basically wasted our first 4 turns. Alright, there is only one combo, one strategy, alright, that actually hinges more on turn 5, 6, 7, which is our Tribunal combo. Okay, so very nicely we slot in Iron Man, Onslaught, Tribunal. In other words, our Tribunal combo 5, 6, 7, alright, into this deck. Now you'll be thinking, so what does Cosmo and Iron Lad does? Okay, Iron Lad is kind of like a Hail Mary kind of thing, alright. If you miss your Phoenix Force, you can try getting it through Iron Lad. If you miss your Iron Man, Onslaught, Tribunal, you can also try getting it through Iron Lad. So Iron Lad is kind of like your last resort to pull out something. Alright, so it's there for that purpose. And Cosmo is actually very useful in this particular deck because it prevents your Iron Man, Onslaught and Tribunal from getting hit by an Enchantress, by a Rogue, by a Red Guardian, right? it also potentially protects your human torch from a Shang-Chi, from a Shadow King. Alright, and especially in today's meta, there's a lot of cannonballs running around. Cosmo has a lot of value. I don't quite understand why so few people are playing Cosmo. Alright, especially when they're complaining about cannonball. Okay, so this is a not a simple deck because you have to make a lot of decisions. Alright, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun, right? Because you diverse into two potential play lines, and sometimes you can combine the play lines. What do I mean by that? Now imagine, this is the perfect ideal scenario if you were to ask me. Imagine you manage to play let's say Nico Minoru on 1, you destroy Human Torch on 2, alright, or okay, basically what the first 1, 2, 3 turns you destroy Human Torch, you bring it back with Phoenix Force, okay, and there is a turn 7, alright, okay, it really doesn't matter if there is a turn 7 or not. Turn 5, you play an Iron Man, you bring your and on turn 6 you put in a Tribunal to spread your power, and you also bring in your huge Human Torch into your Iron Man. Alright, so a Human Torch, if it's just a 6-turn game, it goes to 7, 14, 28. You put it into Iron Man, alright, it becomes 56. Okay, and you Tribunal it, 56 plus your 18 from the Tribunal 18. You get a total of 74 spread over 3. Okay, that is 25. So that itself is a pretty good spread across the board. But if you happen to manage to Magik, push it to 7 turns, you put in your Iron Man, your Onslaught, your Tribunal, and you bring in your Human Torch, that is going to be insane. Alright, so this deck is very fun to play once you're able to have a handle on the 2 play lines, the 2 strategies. Okay, it's going to be very fun. Okay, and another possible strategy combination could be, you just revive a ton of multiple men and then you Tribunal it. Alright, you Iron Man Tribunal. Alright, you spread the power all across, you don't care. Alright, so nobody can really predict where the power is going to go. Okay, or alternatively you just spam multiple men across the board. Right, so is this strategy effective? Is this good? Now let me first highlight, it is a combo deck. Alright, so you need to get your combos running. If your combos don't run, basically you just fall flat. It's not like Dark Hawk whereby you can still compete based on power, based on the stats that you put up. However, if you do get your combo, it is very strong. Okay, and look at the links in the description. There is the deck list. There are links to gameplay videos, right? And I have 2 gameplay videos. One whereby I took on Hela. Alright, most people would think Hela puts up a lot of power and can, beat out a Tribunal deck that is, just like this. However, alright, I managed to bring up my Human Torch to a very big number, and not only that, I managed to use Nico to create another Human Torch, and that was huge. I totally blew Hela out of the water in terms of power output. Alright, I also managed to compete against a Cannonball deck through an effective use of Cosmo, and of course the Tribunal combo simply spreads out the power to beat Cannonball Professor X. Alright, so deck list in the description, gameplay videos in the description as well. Hope you have a shot at this deck. I mean, if you happen to draw Phoenix Force from the Spotlight Catchers as you were trying to get Cersei. Now, having said that, do I recommend getting this deck, getting Phoenix Force if if you have keys and have catchers there? I wouldn't recommend, because you will always get Phoenix Force for 3000 tokens instead. Alright, then the next question comes out, do I recommend getting Phoenix Force for 3000 token? My answer is, it is a pretty acquired taste. You may or may not like it, right? So take a look at the gameplay videos first. If you think you will enjoy such gameplay, sure, by all means. But be warned, playing Phoenix Force can be very tedious.